Huge IQ, great performance at school, but you gave up. Drugs, petty crime, never had a job. It set you on a certain path, but you needn't stay on it.
What sets Kingsman separate from
Matthew Vaughn. I mean, he's a person who, it's somehow, every film of his is, I think, instantly recognizable as his film. He's got he's got 1 foot in the comic book world, 1 foot in gritty realism, sophisticated cinema, and just kind of blazing shoot 'em up action.
It's crazy.
And he's got a bit of all of that. Now that could sound like something a bit confusing and disparate that can't quite make up its mind what it is, but he finds a tone that just makes it a recognizable thing. It's not quite like anything else. It's outrageous, it's funny, it has its extremities. You know, some of the humor in it feels like getting to the edge of what's acceptable. Some of the violence in it could go to the edge of what, and yet it all somehow feels like it's in the spirit of fun. It doesn't really cross the line, except in a way that you kind of want to go with him.
You play this villain who has some sort of moral, problematic. Can you describe that?
I'd say that Valentine has been a person who's been beneficial to mankind for a while now. His whole thrust has been in environmental changes, and he's done a lot of things that were beneficial prior to this particular thing when he comes up with the solution of what's wrong with the planet and how we can fix it. In a lot of people's minds, or some people's minds, it's like, well, that's not such a bad thing. We can do that. And morally, to a lot of other people, that's like, well, you can't do that. I mean, that's just not right. But it's a solution. So it's up to whatever side of that equation you're on to whether you think he's a bad guy or not.
I have trouble understanding you people sometimes. You all talk so funny.
What was it about the script that it said, I wanted?
Well, I was just really grateful and happy to be offered a job, you know, and I've been auditioning for a very long time. I wasn't at a place to be picky whatsoever, and on top of that, it happened to be an awesome script, very cleverly written, highly entertaining, with amazing actors like Sam, Colin, Michael Caine. I mean, you can't complain when you're an actor that's starting.
What was it about the script? Was it the script that attracted you? And being that it is a comic book novel.
Well, I think Matthew Vaughn, that name, I'm such a big fan. And I saw that name, I saw Colin's, read the script. There's nothing about the film that I wouldn't want to be a part of. I just loved it from first read.
Yeah, I mean, exactly echoing what they're saying, all of the, you know, from Matthew making it, to the source material, to the actors who were already attached. I mean, there was no way I was ever not going to make this movie. It's the first movie I've made, but to speak of some of the things that I think are great about it from my perspective is I think there are all those things, and my character has a really wonderful arc as well. He starts as one person and ends as someone very different, and I think that's the kind of main thing you want from a character, I think.
And speaking of this as being your first film, was that a bit scary for you to have all that?
Oh, terrifying, mate. Yeah. I mean, I've never felt so pressured in my life, but I had a great support network in the form of Matthew, Colin, my younger co-stars like Sophie and Ed Holcroft, who plays Charlie. You know, everyone was lovely, and it is, you know, despite the fact that it's kind of myself and Colin at the centre of it, it is, you know, it's such a rich group of characters that we felt like we were all sharing the load. You know, everyone needed to be there and on point to make it what everyone will hopefully think it has become.
You are about to embark on the most dangerous job interview in the world.
Felt sorry for the boy, did you? He will find this humiliating.
He's as much Kingsman material as any of them.
5, 4,